Hello all, hope all is well. Today we're going to do this video about health. And the next few videos that I do are going to be about health and just kind of tying things together, especially in the Black community, African American community. Because in the African American community, there are more risks when it comes to heart disease, stroke, cancers, asthma, the flu, things such as diabetes, high blood pressure, cardiovascular diseases. And the reasons as to why these things are usually more common in the Black communities is because lack of knowledge, lack of education. Those recipes that were passed down from your grandmother and your great great grandmother, a lack of activity, lack of exercise. And when I say a lack of education, I mean not knowing what you're putting into your body, how much of something to put into your body, why you're putting that thing into your body, and just everything that surrounds your health, period. Because the first thing Black people, African American people want to do is run to the doctor. As soon as you have an ailment, as soon as anything goes wrong with your body, you would rather run to the doctor than anything else. You don't know anything about research, and a lot of people don't know anything about researching or, kind of getting online and using your resources to see what's going on with your body, and also to figure out, okay, well, if this is going on, or if I'm having this symptom, what is it that I'm putting into my body or on my body that is causing this ailment, that's causing me to feel this way? A lot of people in the community don't pay attention to what they eat, and they don't pay attention to how that type of food or drink makes them feel after they eat or consume it. So that's some of the things that we're going to be discussing, and just education wise, just being able to educate the people, because that's what we need during this time, especially since so many people are coming away from the doctor's offices, coming away from the prescription medications and the chemicals that are in those prescription medications, and just getting to a more holistic life and a holistic living of what you put into your body, because it's important. Food is medicine. The same way food helps us to feel good sometimes. Like if we are craving something and we have a taste for a good scratch made cookie, and then we eat that cookie and it's just like, oh my goodness, I've been, craving that for the whole week. That same way, food is our fuel. It is our medicine, what we put into our body. And it's very important that we know what we're putting into our body, why we're putting it in there, and how much of it, right? So the first two topics that I wanted to discuss is blood pressure and diabetes, because it's one of the two top most prevalent issues in the community. That's the two main issues that I hear a lot of people talk about. Well, I have to be on blood pressure medication, or I have to be on diabetes medication. I have to go and take my blood pressure right now, or I have to have some insulin, and there's been so much talk about how much the price of insulin is, and the blood pressure medication, and how much it's costing. And people don't realize that it's not only costing you something price-wise, it's costing you something in your health, in your body. Those medications are detrimental to your health. So let's start with diabetes, okay? That's when your blood pressure is too high, or your blood sugar is too high. Blood sugar is your main source of energy, and it comes from the food that you eat. Having a high blood sugar causes heart disease, nerve damage, eye problems, kidney disease, and most of the food that we eat is broken down into sugar. So it's released into the bloodstream after it's broken down into the sugar, and then when your blood sugar goes up, it signals for that insulin that your body creates on its own naturally to be released, to be able to balance. Okay, so basically our body does everything that we need it to do. The only reason we would need help is if we're doing too much, if we're hurting our body. That's when the medications come into play, and the doctors, people want to run to the doctors because y'all are doing too much to your bodies, and people don't really know the balance of when to eat this cookie versus when to lay off of it, type of thing. And I know because I've been there. So a lot of the diabetic cases in the US, 90 to 95% of them come from people being obese, overweight, and just having inactive lifestyles and the types of food choices that you're making that a lot of people just don't know. Because to be honest, by the grace of God, we're all still here because there are so many GMOs, pesticides, toxins, chemicals being released not only in the air, but also on these foods. So you're never really eating 100% just pure unless you are growing it from the ground yourself and you know that, you know the exact ingredients. But this is just about being mindful about what you put into your body. It's about being mindful of the decisions that you make and being mindful about, maybe let's not go and get that pack of cookies on the aisle and let's just make our cookies from scratch this month. Let's not indulge in 3 pieces of cake. Let's go ahead and just have one. And then the next time I eat a piece of cake is going to be in 2 months. Let's just make better decisions when it comes to food and what we're putting into our bodies. So foods that can cause diabetes. All right. We're talking about processed carbs, such as, let's just say the chip aisle. You go on the chip aisle and you get the biggest bag of chips, Doritos, a pack of Oreos, a pack of Cheez-Its, something like that. Those types of packaged processed foods that are made in the manufacturing warehouses and things of that nature, that's what's mostly causing our diabetes. And the sugary drinks that we're consuming, the Cokes, the Dr. Peppers, and all of those things, because although it says no sugar, majority of the time if something says no sugar, it has a higher intake of sodium. So you have to watch certain things because it could say it's healthier for you, but it really doesn't mean that. You have to know how to read those labels and how to kind of scan to understand what these specific words mean on the back of those labels, as well as what these numbers mean when it says sodium is 350 milligrams. You probably shouldn't get that. So understanding that processed carbs, the sugary drinks, which are the worst because drinking sugar is way worse than eating it. Water, okay? You want to do more water, drink more water. And I know that's hard for some people because it's hard for me. But your body will tell you, and a lot of people say that you should drink 6 to 8 bottles of water a day. If we can be more in touch with our bodies, we would know what our bodies need. Because some people need 2 to 3 bottles a day. Some people need 4 to 5. It depends on how much you are exerting your body. And it depends on how much you're sweating, the temperature. It depends on a lot. If I sit around the house and not do anything all day, I probably will drink 2 bottles of water and I'm okay with that. But if I go for a run and do and run errands during the day and I'm hot and I'm just sweaty and I get back home and I'm tired, I'm probably going to need 3 to 4 bottles of water because my body has exerted more energy than me just sitting down on the couch. So your body will tell you how much of something you need versus you listening to a medical professional telling you what you need, because you know what your body needs. You just have to pay more attention to it. Also, red meats. A lot of people love red meats, pork, things like that, high sodium. That type of stuff causes diabetes. Butter, cheese, seasonings. And I'm listing these things because a lot of these foods, and I'm talking about the African American communities, because a lot of these foods are in some of our most delicious meals, okay, and dishes that our grandmothers have made, that our aunts have passed down. We have to be careful. Those cheesecakes, that you eat once a week for some people or once a month for some people, that's not good. Just looking at what we're really consuming. The whole milks. Milk in general can cause rashes and cause breakouts on your face. And if it's causing that on top of your skin, that means that it's doing something inside of your body. Whenever you start to see a breakout on your skin, anywhere on your body, or start to see things that's not normal, of course we all get the occasional pimples or bumps here and there. That's just the way it is, but when you start to see breakouts and rashes and things that just isn't normal for you, what is it that you're putting into your body? Because that's your body letting you know that something's in me that's not supposed to be. I can't fight off whatever this is, and the toxins won't come out of me because I'm either putting too much of this thing in me or my body just isn't having a good reaction to it. And that's a way that you know, because your body will tell you. The same way your body tells you if you eat a burger and fries and then right after you eat that meal, you want to go to sleep. That's how you know your body is telling you, your body shouldn't shut down after you eat. If anything, whatever you eat and whatever you put into your body should fuel you. It should give you gas to go. You know, that's just like if you're in a car and you're driving and your car needs gas, you stop at the nearest gas station, you put whatever gas in your car that your car needs, and then your car is good to go for another X amount of miles, right? So that means that whenever you put something into your body, if you feel your body getting sluggish and slowing down, then whatever you're fueling your body with is not right for you. And it's not right for the people around you either, if you can tell how it's making your body feel. I can tell the difference if I eat a taco versus if I choose a more healthier option and eat maybe baked chicken and some rice and beans. My body's going to feel a lot better and I'm going to be more energetic, maybe even that next day, because my body has time to process that meal a little better, a little easier, a little quicker. And that meal that has the rice and the beans or the vegetables, you know, the spinach or the broccoli, it's actually fueling your body versus a processed meal or a fast food meal that's not doing anything for you at all. It's just satisfying you for the moment, but it's doing nothing for your body nutrition wise. Also, staying away from those full fat dairies. Okay, we know that we're going to eat certain types of dairy, such as cheese, such as the cream cheeses, the yogurts and things like that. But just understanding that you're going to be looking at the 1%, the 2% dairy instead of the whole milks and things of that nature, because we just have to pick and choose our battles here. You know, nothing is going to be just a basic, you know, clean cut, you know, decision when it comes to food, because unless you're just eating rice and spinach every day, you know, but your body needs proteins. Your body needs certain things to run off of. And that's the way, you know, God made our bodies. He made us to be able to need certain types of proteins and supplements to be able to help our body to continually go. And that's just the way it is. So looking at the sweeteners, table sugar, maple syrup, brown sugar, what else? Honey is okay, depending on, of course, how you use it, same thing. But a lot of people put, you know, like a lot of table sugars, like such as, let's just use Kool-Aid as an example. The amount of sugar I've seen people pour into Kool-Aid is ridiculous. And you have to think about all that sugar that you pouring into that jug. It may taste good, but have you ever thought about the fact that you're consuming the sugar that you just put in there? You know? And fast food chips, you know, the shortenings that you use in the cookies or whatever you use. Yeah. What are some alternatives that you can use? What are some things that you can do differently? Instead of making that recipe with sour cream, is there a way that you can substitute that sour cream for yogurt? Is there a way that you can substitute that shortening for maybe butter or lighter butter or something like that? And just trying to tweak different things, because one of the things I've, you know, come to know is that we have to look at the way that we eat food and the way that we think about food. A lot of people say that eating healthy is expensive, and they say it's nasty, but it's not. Eating healthy is good. And it's not just, oh, leafy greens and you can't have anything else, or just salads, you know, the way that they make it seem. It's you making different decisions and different choices for your body, because it's going to really truly give you the benefits that you need in order to sustain and to survive. Looking at the things that we put into our bodies now, the things that we can substitute, incorporate, the way that we can eat, and learn how to just make certain regimens and daily habits out of things, right? Instead of you getting up and picking up a soda, you know, get up and get a bottle of water instead, you know, or get up and get you some tea, drink a hot glass of tea or a cold glass of tea, however you like it, green tea, hibiscus tea, lemon, ginger, whatever it is that you have, use those things. And you don't even have to have tea. If you have a lemon at home and some ginger, this is ginger. If you have a lemon at home and ginger, You can cut this ginger up. You can cut that lemon in half, and you can boil the lemon and ginger together for 15 to 20 minutes so that all the nutrients can get out of these supplements and the roots and into that water. You can pour that water into a glass and use sweet and lower honey to sweeten it if you need that, and you can drink that tea. And not only is that helping your body kind of wake up in the morning, but you're also giving your body calcium, you're giving your body antioxidants, and you're giving your body a way to kind of just detoxify early in the morning before you even start your day. And if you want to mix it up even more, add you a little tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in there. That's going to help you with pH balancing, your gut health issues. It's going to help you with just helping your gut kind of get started in the morning. It's going to help your mental. It also helps any type of skin issues that you're having. It detoxifies your liver. It detoxifies your kidneys. It helps with every single thing in your body. Apple cider vinegar is a very good staple to have in your home at all times, because not only will it help you in the inside, but it'll also help you topically if you've had a cut or anything else like that. So understanding that what you're putting into your body can help you, knowing what the different types of foods can do. What is ginger for? What is lemons for? What are lemons for? What are, berries for? What can I use this for? Just making those substitutes and understanding what you're putting into your body, right? Lastly, talking about the foods to incorporate, there's a few that I've written down. And don't feel overwhelmed, because when I first started to look at how I was eating and trying to kind of switch over, I had to do a lot of praying, because it takes discipline, and also just a mindset change, like I've said, and knowing that, okay, whatever I'm putting into my body is not only going to help me physically, but it's going to help me mentally as well. Fruits, vegetables, rice, grains, oats, if you like oatmeal, that's a good breakfast if you like oatmeal. Beans, seeds, protein-rich foods such as skinless poultry, taking that skin off of that chicken if you have to have it, taking the skin off of certain meats if you have to have that, seafood, certain type of lean cuts of meats, and also heart-healthy fats. So a lot of people use vegetable oil. Now, I would stay away from frying, but if you absolutely have to fry something once every now and then, okay, understandable. Use canola oil. Use canola oil, and that'll be a better alternative than vegetable oil. Whenever I cook, period, doesn't matter what I'm making, you kind of always have to start with some type of oil in the pan, right? Get olive oil. And olive oil can be found at Ross, TJ Maxx, Home Goods. And so you don't have to pay an arm and a leg for it if you can find it at Ross's and things of that nature. And Ross usually has it from $5 to $7 depending. Make sure that olive oil is cold pressed. That means that it's pressed, or whatever type of machinery they've used has pressed those olives as much as they could to pour it into this bottle before you consume it. So make sure it's cold pressed. Also, sesame oil. It's good if you want to try different type of cuisines. You can do a quick sesame oil recipe, adding in a little bit of soy sauce, cutting up some tofu, tossing it in there, putting it over some white or brown rice, adding you some broccoli, spinach, something green, right? Just think about something green. What can I add to this dish that's green? Broccoli, spinach, asparagus, green beans, and I mean fresh green beans. Yeah, anything like that. Or it doesn't even have to be green. You can do squash, you can do zucchini, you can chop up and saute you some tomatoes if you want to. You can chop up any type of vegetable and put with that meal, and that'll be your grains, your protein, plus the veggies or the fruits that you need for that day, all on one meal, or all in one meal. Also thinking about breakfast items, right? Let's just say you get up and you like to make you a good biscuit and just or pancakes, or like a big hearty breakfast. We don't need that. Eat you a banana. If you don't want the regular bananas, make you a smoothie. How you can get away with making smoothies: buy you some fresh fruit, cut it up, put it in the freezer. It'll last a little while. If you don't want to do that, buy the already frozen fruit. Get you some coconut water, some almond milk or something as a base. Pour it into that blender. Put your veggies and your fruit frozen in there. You want to mix it up a little bit more, add you some yogurt to that. You want to just add all of your supplements in there for the day. Get you some powders. I mean, we can go on and on and on and on, because that breakfast meal could be the best meal of the day for you, because you're adding in the supplements, you're adding in the nutrients that you need for the entire day. And then once that smoothie runs through your body and you've worked it off or whatever you've done, it'll be time for lunch, and then you can think about another way for you to eat even healthier, so just kind of starting to change your mind, right? Also, egg whites. Instead of scrambling the eggs, get you some egg whites, especially if you're trying to lower your cholesterol, because the yolks in eggs does contain a little bit of sodium, but it's not bad. But if you're, at that point to where you're really just trying to watch it, just do egg whites. And honestly, I feel like egg whites are healthier anyway. You want to kind of incorporate certain things in your egg whites. Get you some spinach, saute you some tomatoes. Or you don't want to do that, get you some toast in the morning. Chop you up an avocado, smash the avocado, spread it on the toast. Do you some salt and pepper and red pepper flakes on top of it. There you go. That'll fill you up too. Also, you don't want to do that. I mean, you can go on and on and on with it. You can try turkey breakfast sausages, chop it up, put it in a cupcake pan, pour some egg whites over that. You can add in bell peppers and onions to that cupcake pan, bake it, pop it out, and you have you a nice little egg muffin, and you can eat that for a breakfast. And you can make a couple of them, refrigerate it for 1 to 2 days, and eat that for breakfast, and it'll be an on-the-go type of thing. Or just boil you some eggs and grab you an egg, crack it, peel it, and go. So it's so many different ways that you can go about eating healthier without even thinking about it. Also, going to high blood pressure, right? Because that's another staple in the Black community that is plaguing the people. Seriously, there's so many people on blood pressure medication right now, it's ridiculous. Let's talk about blood pressure, right? Blood pressure is the force of your blood as it flows through your arteries in your body. And your arteries that it's flowing through are blood vessels that carry this blood from your heart to the rest of your body. So when your heart beats, it pushes the blood through your arteries, and this flow puts pressure on your artery walls. This is the process of blood pressure. It's basically your blood flowing through your arteries and getting and doing what it needs to do inside of your body. Your heart is pumping, and as long as those arteries are clean, that blood is going to flow freely, right? But as those arteries get clogged up with fat, clogged up with unnecessary toxins, it makes it harder for that blood to flow through. So your blood pressure starts to rise. Why? Because it takes more pressure. It takes more pressure for that blood to flow through if you have built up arteries or artery walls. Certain things caked up on the side, the fats that have built up over time from you eating certain things, from not exercising, not having good cardiovascular health. Those things build up over time, and so it makes your body function just a little harder, and it's just like pushing and it's pushing. Just imagine, how much work your body is doing, how much extra work it's doing if your arteries are just built up, and that's what creates the high blood pressure, period. It's what you put into your body. So this puts you at risk for things like a stroke, heart disease, heart attack, kidney failures, all of that stuff, okay? So the causes of this, majority of the time, are diets that are high in fat, high in salt, a lack of physical activity, overweight, obese, again, birth control issues or birth control medications, depot shots, all of those foreign chemicals that's going into your body that God did not design. He didn't design none of that stuff. So if he didn't design it, stress, tobacco and or alcohol usage, all of these things are caused by lifestyle choices. Okay? And what can help or reduce your risk are losing weight, stop smoking, just eating and making better decisions when it comes to foods, exercising, getting active, getting active, in any way that you possibly can. And when we say get active, I don't mean just oh, I'm going to go on this diet, or I'm going to go, exercise today, and then you don't go back to the gym, or you don't go back outside for another week. No, because it's a mindset, and it takes a lot of prayer. It takes a lot of discipline and consistency to keep up with these types of things. It doesn't happen overnight. It gradually gets to where it's supposed to be. And you don't have to just get on a treadmill. You can go run. Go learn to run. As you learn to run, you will love to run. If you don't want to do that, start out with different types of cardio. There's so many different types of cardio. It's ridiculous. You can go play. You can go get a basketball and go to the basketball court. You can go get some tennis rackets and go play tennis. Get you a partner. You can go swimming. That's a very good form of cardio. Okay. HIIT techniques. I mean, we can go on, and I can make a video about the types of exercises that you can do, because I'm not just an avid runner. I like it sometimes, but I'm the type of person that likes to switch stuff up. I can't do the same thing all the time. I like to challenge my body, and I like to switch things up because it makes it fun to me. So you don't have to do the same thing every day, but just get active. You can do Pilates for a little while. You can switch it up and do jump rope. And jump roping is a very good form of cardio. That is going to wear you out, but it's going to get you right. And it's going to get that heart pumping. That's the type of stuff you want. Get that heart pumping. Not just walking around the park for 20 minutes, because that's not exercise. You need to put some power in that walk. Get to running. Get to jogging. If you're not sweating and huffing and puffing when you're done, you haven't did anything. Reducing or stopping your alcohol drinking, lowering your salt intake, dealing with your stress, praying, getting hobbies, man, because nothing in this life is worth stressing about. Nothing. And a lot of people, for some, I've heard, that they were stressing, and they started eating. What do people do when they stress out? They eat. And they just eat whatever is in their vision to eat. They don't care what it is. They just start stuffing their mouth with it. And I know, because I've been there. So just understanding, that I'm eating because I'm stressing. Okay, why are you stressing? Because you cannot control anything in this life. It gets hard for the body to break down anything that is unnatural. I understand. Look, we all have our guilty pleasures of eating our foods. But when you're putting this stuff in your body constantly, that's not good. It's not good at all. We just have to look at the way that we're truly indulging. Also, when we're looking at the holistic ways of healing, treating, managing diabetes, high blood pressure, the first few things that come to mind are apple cider vinegar. Like I said, you don't have to take it every day. It can just be a once a week type of thing. If you don't want to do that, aloe vera is good. If you make smoothies, placing that aloe vera into a smoothie. If you don't want to do that, you can juice it if you have a juicer. We can go over that another time as well. Managing your carbs, because let's face it, we're gonna eat carbs, but it's about how much of that thing that you eat, how much of that thing that you consume. If you want to get you some cookies, find you a good little recipe, because I promise you, finding you a scratch-made recipe for cookies is way better than going to the store and getting processed cookies that's been sitting on the shelf for Lord knows how long, and sitting in those warehouses for Lord knows how long, and putting that into your body, because what chemicals did they put inside of that stuff to make it last for so long, because scratch made stuff does not last for months and months and months unless you put it into the freezer, and even then you still have to check on it. So you have to be mindful. Whatever types of chemicals they're putting into that box, that's what's going into your body. Whatever type of sugars and added sugars they're putting into that box or into that drink, that sweetened tea and all of that stuff, that's going into your body. So whenever you have issues and symptoms of hand numbness and all these other things, like you have diabetes, you can't say, well, I don't know where this came from. Okay, well, let's start with number one. What have you been eating? Well, I have been eating this, and this. I have been going to McDonald's lately, or I have been, hey, start with your diet, because I promise you, 99.9% of what's going on with you starts in your diet and your physical activity. Because to be honest with you, we don't have to eat like that. We don't have to eat 3 and 4 and 5 meals a day. In certain days, I may eat one good meal, a decent breakfast like a banana, a bowl of yogurt, and some fruit, and I'm okay. Because number one, your body doesn't need all of that. and once you start to get active, once that metabolism kicks in and your body kind of just starts to get active, you will see the difference in your body, because then your body's going to start craving the more healthier foods. And once you start eating healthier, that's all you're going to want. You're going to crave sweets, but guess what? Trade those cookies in for some fruit instead. Or make you some at-home granola bars. Or get you some peanut butter and some crackers and eat a few of them. Just managing and giving yourself options when it comes to these things are very, very vital, especially right now. Looking at the serving sizes, right? Because a lot of the times we don't even know what the serving size is when we're eating some of this stuff. Matter of fact, you have something like, let's just take this, right? This is like a bagel, and this has 100 calories in it. And let's see, the serving size is 1 muffin, okay? They're very small muffins. These, small little muffin. Put some egg whites on and go about your business in the morning. But if you eat 2 of those, you just consumed 200 calories instead of 100. You've just consumed 340 milligrams of sodium versus 150. You've just consumed 16 grams of fiber. You have to look at your consumption and look at what you're putting into your body, because a lot of the times we don't even look at the serving sizes. When you eat those crackers, those rich crackers, when you eat any type of things that come out of a box, or anything for that matter, what's the serving size on that thing? How much are you filling your plate up, and do you know when to stop eating? Because that's also an issue that I've seen looking at the diabetics and talking to them, and just having an understanding of where all of this stuff really stems from. How much are you eating? Are you overeating? Are you getting 2 sandwiches at home and a big old bag of chips when you really only need 1 and a little handful of chips in order to sustain your body? Do you know when to stop eating? Are you eating slow enough for your body to digest? Because a lot of the times we eat so fast, because especially if you're on the go, especially if you're busy, or you just don't have time to eat, or you're just used to it. You eat so fast to where your body can't even recognize that you're eating, and by the time it does, you've already stuffed yourself. And a lot of the times what people do when they stuff themselves is go lay down and take a nap. That's the worst thing you can do, because that's the time you should actually be getting active, burning off what you kind of just eaten, allowing your body to digest that food that you've just eaten, because then it can go to the proper places, go to the proper cells, go to the proper fat cells. Your kidney and your liver can go into overdrive trying to kick those toxins out, and making sure that your body stays lean and everything that it needs to, and that you're getting things out. Staying active is also very vital when it comes to your bowel movements, things like that. That heart pumping is very important. That stuff cleans your arteries, all of that. Drinking that water is very important to detoxifying. It's very important. You know, there's so many different things that the organs inside the body do. It's amazing how God created us. It's amazing the filtration systems and everything that he created and how our body operates. That is just completely amazing to me. He was just so brilliant when it came to how he made us and how he allowed, you know, for us to be able to need the fuel of the grains and the meats and the greenery and all of that stuff, and the supplements that he gave us, and the herbs and the roots and things of that nature, and how those holistic properties could really aid in our body and aid in the things and the ailments that we have. Like, he made everything. He made everything. So how could you ever run to a doctor, you know? Also, I don't eat anything unless I've looked into it to make sure that it's not being messed with in a lab. It's not being messed with by these scientists, you know, or other people, and that it has some sort of benefits for me. Like the natural supplements, fish oils, hibiscus, magnesium, the things that we need, you know, the calcium, the B12. You don't have to take a supplement to get all that stuff in your body. All you have to do is just make sure that those things are in the food that you're eating. The omega-3s, for instance, when they say, if they say you need omega-3s, go and eat you some fish. Fish has omega-3s in it. You know, they tell you that you need magnesium or something. Leafy greens, go get you some kale and some spinach. That has magnesium in it, folate, phosphorus, all that stuff. So you can get your body the proper nutrients and the proper supplements through the foods that you're eating. That's why we say that food is medicine. Food is healing. The mushrooms, high in protein, antioxidants, fiber, folate, same thing, you know. Yogurt is very good when it comes to giving your body calcium. Orange juice, and I don't mean that sugary orange juice that leave that little sugar on your tongue when you drink it. Not that orange juice, like actual, as close to natural orange juice as you can get, you know, with the least amount of sugar in it, you know, because I mean, fruits do have natural sugar, but that's natural sugar. You know, I'm not talking about the orange juice with all the added sugar in there, you know, so be mindful about those labels. It's very important, because they tell you what they put into that stuff. We just don't read it. Or we just don't know what those words mean. But if the word is way too long and you don't even know how to pronounce it, you might want to put that thing back on the shelf, because just getting heart healthy, you know, incorporating the basils, the parsleys, the celery, garlic, thyme, cinnamon, ginger, the things that we use on a day-to-day basis anyway for some people, you know, especially if you're making, let's just talk about like a good bowl of gumbo, right? Or a good pot of gumbo. If you make gumbo, majority of the time you're using basil, thyme, garlic, celery. You're chopping up those onions, you're chopping up the garlic, you're doing all of those things and adding all of that stuff into this big pot, right? That's good. Where the bad comes in is all the salt, all the tonies that you put into it, all the salt that we intake in some of these foods. That's not good for us. But majority of the time, the seasonings and the herbs and the spices, that stuff is good for you, and it's good for your immune system. It helps to clean out any phlegm. It helps to clean out any type of clogging. It helps. It's like whenever you're in the kitchen and you're sneezing, and they say that if you're not sneezing, it's not seasoned. So just being mindful of the sodium. That's really what it comes down to when you're cooking. Sodium. You know, and like my mom taught me, if you have too much sodium, put a little sugar in it. Hey, you gotta balance. That's what it comes down to. Us learning how to balance. Us getting back to basics. Us getting away from these doctors, because God didn't intend for us to be in these doctors' offices, giving them all of our time and money and dependence, because the doctors can't save you, you know, and they definitely can't. What can they possibly prescribe you to get your mental, spiritual, physical house in order? You know what I mean? Nothing. They need the patients in the hospital because healthy people cannot make them wealthy. Healthy people aren't going to be good patients, right? Because you're going to be healthy and you're going to do it on your own because you don't need them. It's just ridiculous how much, you know, we and people have come to depend on the medical system, because it's not needed. It's not needed at all. It's about just understanding, you know, like I've said, what you put into your body. And also, a couple of other things that I kind of wanted to go over before I end the video is, we talked about nuts and grains, right? So Right now, the cost of nuts are going up, but if you can find nuts and grains, such as something like this with the little nuts in there, if you have like a HEB Kroger or something like that, where they have sales, like this right here was, I believe, like $3, and so was this, but this is pretty much gone. But it's like mixes of different nuts and seeds. This one I believe had cranberries, walnuts, almonds, raisins, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, and little dices of pineapple in it. This is good on top of yogurt. If you don't want to just sit around and just eat the nuts and grains by themselves, put them on top of something. Put them in something. That way you don't even know it's there. You know, kind of trick yourself into getting all the nutrients that you need. I know whenever I make a good bowl of yogurt, you can put in, you know, blueberries, strawberries, banana, cut up bananas, any type of vegetables. Maybe if you want to add vegetables, fruits that you want in that yogurt. You can add seeds on top of it, raisins on top of it for your fiber needs. You can add granola on top of that. Eat it, and that's a good meal. And you've also given your body the nutrients that it needs. You know, it's just coming up with different options, guys. That's all. And when I talk about yogurt, I usually have a non-fat yogurt that I eat for just gut purposes, and I incorporate that into smoothies. But this is what I use for the yogurt and the strawberries and the fruit and everything like that. It's not too bad. Only 8 grams of sugar in a serving. And I mean, we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna have sugar, we're gonna intake sodium, we're gonna do certain things, but choosing different options, right? Because let's soy sauce, right? Looking at soy sauce. If you have an Asian cuisine, some type of dish that you have that calls for soy sauce, get you a light soy sauce, less sodium. That way you're not eating as much sodium, but you're still getting the flavor of the soy sauce. Also, having oats. And this doesn't cost that much, because you can make the oatmeals. You can also make granola bars with oats. You can also incorporate oats into your smoothies. You can make oatmeal cookies. I mean, you can do a lot with oats. And just having something like this, probably $2 for this right here. I don't know for how much longer, but $2 or so and some change for this right here. This, if you like oatmeal, that could feed you for 2 weeks. Getting you a cup or 3/4 of a cup out of there could feed you for 2 weeks. You know, for the people who say that eating healthy is expensive, it's not expensive, y'all. It's actually, I actually spend less on our grocery bill now, because all we eat majority of the time is fruit, yogurt, fish. I try to do fish and shrimp at least twice a week or so. I've been cutting back on pork and stuff like that, so we try to just stick to like chicken if I want to do a protein like that. Like a boneless chicken breast, skinless chicken breast, you can chop that up. Matter of fact, you can even get to the point where if you're really trying to budget, buy you a big family pack of chicken breasts, okay? When you get home from the grocery store, get you some Ziploc bags. Take out, it might have 4 or 5 chicken breasts in there. Take out 2 that you may need, or if you have a family, take out 3. Put the other 2 chicken breasts up for another day. That could be a good meal right there. You can make burrito bowls with that chicken breast. You can make burritos. You can make chicken tacos. You can chop that chicken up and grill it if you want to. You can do a light chicken pasta with like some zucchini noodles or something like that. You can bake the chicken. You can slice the chicken up and make thin sliced chicken breasts, and that'll make 6 instead of 3. I mean, you can make it work. And then all you have to do with that chicken is this: make you some rice and a little side, and make sure that side is healthy. Get you some fresh green beans and cut them up. Get you some Brussels sprouts if that's what you like. Get you some asparagus if that's what you like. Get you some spinach if that's what you like. Do any type of, maybe some type of sauce on top of the chicken. I like sauces. Make you a little sauce. Use half and half instead of whole creamer. You know, just certain things that you can do, and just making the different options available to yourself, because it's vital. It's vital. It's vital for us to be healthy. It's vital for us to get off the medications, because the medications aren't doing anything but giving you even more side effects, and for you to go back to the doctor for them to prescribe you something else. So all they're doing is making money off of you. You know, that's all they're doing. That's all they've ever done. You know, and now it's being brought to the light because it's time for people to know what's going on in the healthcare industry. Because if that doctor isn't telling you that you need to change the way you eat, and you need to kind of manage your stress, and that you need to be seeking alternatives to your foods, and all they want to do is write prescriptions, that's not good. You know, so the one thing I do want you to understand is that prayer is important, and two, what you put into your body is very important. Understanding that we have to be educated about what we eat, how we eat, why we eat, and we have to get to the point of understanding serving sizes. Understanding that just because you eat a salad doesn't mean that that salad is healthy. Like, just knowing what you're putting in your body, knowing how to get the supplements into your body, how to get the nutrients in there, the proper ways of exercising, you know, and things of that nature, and just kind of coming to an understanding that it's not going to happen overnight. It's a journey, you know, and it's a journey that's worth fighting for, because you're fighting for your life, especially if you're on those prescription pills. So thank you so very much for listening, and I hope that this video helped someone. Have a good week, guys.